What's up, guys? Rick from DFS On Demand with the one and done video for this week's Farmers Insurance Open. I went very deep into my favorite players in the DFS video. So if you're really worrying or wondering about plays, I'd say go there. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the strategy that I'm thinking for this pool right now that I'm in. So it's very specific. It's a $1,700 or a 1,700 person $50 entry one and done pool. I have 3 entries in it. To say we've started slow would be a little bit of an understatement. I'll show you where we're at here. So these are who we've chosen across all 3 of the entries. So on entry 1, we went with Kisner, Reeve, Harmon. We have $232,000. That's our best entry so far. Number 2, we went with Cam Smith, Ches Reeve, Webb Simpson, $201,000. Austin Cook, Ches Reeve, and Brian Harmon for $209,000 in the last one. We haven't missed a cut yet. That's about all we can say. To show you where that stacks up, 200,000 or so. Again, there's 1,700 people here. We've got one entry in 1369th, one in 1268th. That's our best one, and then 1331. So all kind of in that $1,200 to $1,300 or 1,300th place range. Needless to say, not very good. Obviously, a lot of season left. There's only been, 3 picks? But we will probably not win the first segment here. And I don't even think we're really going to try. So I'm hoping you can see this. Here are, if you remember this, there's many different ways to win this. So the season's broken down in 4 segments. Then you have the majors as a 5th segment or a 5th way to win, and then the season long as a 6th way to win. So 6 different ways that you can win. We're already right here. We segment 1, tournament number 4. Again, halfway through the first segment after this week, or almost halfway. There's a couple guys who have, they had Kazire at the Sony and John Rahm at the Career Builder, so they've got 2 wins. Very unlikely that we win this segment without burning and going out and get two or 3 winners or something like that. With that being said, this is the segment that has all the smallest prize pools. So if you remember back to the first video we talked about, if I'm going to go nuts and I'm going to burn all my really good players in one segment, it's going to be segment 2. It has the larger prize pools. It has 2 majors in there. If we find success in segment 2, we could potentially win segment 2, the majors, and be in a good spot for the season long. So that is what we're going to look to accomplish. So kind of holding tight for segment 1. Would love to have had better success. Would love to put some more numbers on the board, but we're not going to burn the top tier players. And there's plenty of those this week. Here is the one and done tool on dfsondemand.com. You can go check this out. If we click the Farmers Insurance Open, you can see it's $6.9 million prize pool, or $6.9 million prize pool. One of the smallest on tour this year. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. There kind of is. I mean, it's heavy loaded at the bottom and the majors and the big ones, of course, but 6.9 I guess is decent, but on the lower end. So if we click on this, we'll get some of, so the top area, that's going to be your chalk right there. John Rahm's going to be chalk. Ricky Fowler's going to be chalk. A couple of these guys aren't playing. This doesn't sort out players in the field. I'd love to use Justin Rose here. We will probably save him. He's played so well, I think we can use him in a lot of different places in prize pools. But if you were in the running for maybe your first segment, or you really wanted to go out and use one of these guys, I would love to use Justin Rose this week. Value picks. So Finau is going to pop up. We might burn Finau this week. Phil's in here. Francesco Molinari is in here. Those are guys that I talked about a lot about, or Molinari is a guy I talked a lot about on the DFS video, if you want to go watch that. And then let's just pull this up real quick and just look at some history here. So historically, Brandt Snedeker's been great at this event. He's played it, it's at 8 times. I actually think he's played it more than that. That's the last 8 years. He's won it twice. He has 2 second place finishes. Here you go. If I click him, I think I can get a little deeper. Bunch of top 20s and a couple of top 10s thrown in there as well. So Snedeker is actually on my radar. What I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to burn 3 separate guys. So since we have, we have 3 essentially even, rosters here. I'm going to try to create some separation. If we create some separation, we can do a lot cooler stuff strategy wise. Like if we find a winner this week and get $1 million in one of these rosters, we're gonna have to play a lot differently. So I just think for the sake of this video series and for the sake of trying to take 3 bullets at a win, I'm gonna spread this out and take 3 different guys and hope one of them pops off. So guys that I'm looking at for this week and I think that I'm gonna go with are guys that I don't really plan on using other places. Again, I'm still not ready to burn those guys. I'm not too worried about using them. Snedeker will be one, just because the course history is so good here. I'm not thrilled with how he's playing, but he has decent odds to win this thing, and I don't know where else I'd really use him. He's not a top-tier elite player. I'm cool burning him here. I'm actually going to use Phil in one. Again, I can go to the cheat sheet here. Sorry, I probably should have had this up. Here's Snedeker, a 9th place last year, a win in the year before. Phil, a 14th place last year, and he's had good success. This is kind of like a home course for him. So I'm going to go with those 2 guys. And then the third one I think is going to be interesting. I think Finau's an option. He's going to be very popular. I'm trying to think if I want to save him for maybe another event, because he could play a lot of different places. He was so good at the end of last year. Or if I really just want to go super contrarian and take Francesco Molinari. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me think about this. All right, so I actually had to pause and think about that. I'm going to take Snedeker, Phil, and I'm going to take Francesco Molinari. I think that Snedeker and Phil are probably still going to be pretty chalky this week. I didn't want to take a third chalk guy in Finau, especially one who I think is so valuable that I can use in a lot of different places. So I'm going to go off the grid. I go watch the DFS video. Molinari popped up on all the key stats. Really liked him for DFS purposes, so I'm just going to eat. I'm going to eat that as well and eat my own dog food, right? That's the saying. I'm going to eat my own dog food, and I'm going to play Molinari here in one of my lineups on the one and done. Which lineup for which one? Quite honestly, it probably doesn't matter. They're all within $30,000 of each other. So I'm just going to spread it out, hope one pops off. Maybe we can get some separation between these lineups so we can start taking different strategies for each one. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'd love to hear who you're playing, if you're saving your guys for later in the year, if you're going to try to burn them out now, depending on where you are at on your pool. Give me a shout on Twitter. It's @DFS on demand, or leave a comment below. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.